I'm sure someone loves this kind of content. But I'm building up to something. So, I've been trying to get this internet to work, and I think I might have finally figured it out. After 20 restarts later, it's been more like maybe 10. But I'm trying to. Hang on, I gotta switch this. Sometimes I do some. Well, let's see if it resizes. It's resizing the screen. Okay, that's good enough. So I gotta install all these drivers. Hopefully it just doesn't go through a complete. Well, it hasn't been looping. I've been in the process of this, and it just keeps on restarting, installing new drivers. Now, in the real world, I don't think this is what would have happened because it would have done this automatically. I mean, I guess there's the chance that it could have happened this way. There's the Ethernet. That's what we need. Serious logic. So it's installing all these PCI drivers. I go for restart again, and it's not. It keeps crashing. I've had more problems with UTM with this than Windows itself. There we go. So this is gonna be um hello? Oh, hang on. It hasn't completely gone. No, it's loading something. I think maybe with Windows 7, with Windows you can't really tell. Like back in the day, you had to look closely to see if anything. Like when I was looking around at what, like when you saw the Windows thing, I was like, okay, what's not moving? Is there anything moving on the screen that I need to tell when it's not moving? When I know it's crashed, where I gotta restart it. See, you don't. You gotta move your mouse. Is like, okay, it's working. You just gotta wait. But sometimes it does. It's a hit or miss. Sometimes some UTM just crashed. Okay. Okay, gotta switch this back over. This is so entertaining, isn't it, guys? There we go, scan disk. It wasn't my fault. I had to do it. It blames me for and that's how Windows was. It blames for its own incompetence. See, like to make sure it doesn't crash, I gotta get this blind down here at the bottom of the screen. I can't point to it but it's at the bottom and it's that blue line. So has it encountered a problem with one of the drivers? Most likely. Is there a problem with a driver incompatibility? Probably. How do you fix that? Well, you can't. You gotta reinstall if it is. Classic Windows. Classic Windows. Well, the cursor is still moving, but Okay, the system's busy waiting for the close room dialog box. I couldn't even read that. I didn't click on anything. Okay, I think it might have crashed this time. Maybe. I don't know. Well, I don't see a cursor. I don't know what it's doing. How did I... I'm trying to do like Control Alt Delete, but Command Option. Control Shift Escape. Control Alt Shift. I forget what the other one is. Yeah, I think this crashed. I may have to reinstall Windows because there's no way to get out. Well, you could theoretically. You might be able to go. I mean, you might be able to. I don't know exactly. Okay, here we go. I was about to say, is there safe mode on here? So it's a good thing it showed me this. Alright. Step-by-step confirmation. I noticed that it doesn't say use last known configuration, which never worked. For me anyways, whenever I used that. We can try safe mode with network support. Let's try that. Of course. It was more or less the same way back in the day with this, although the drivers would have been different. But this would be if you were like a power user, I would say that this was probably what you got. Now, if you were just a daily average user, it would be fine. But I saw this constantly. Perfect. Well, at least we got to the desktop. At least it's working. Kind of. I'm gonna say that loosely. As far as I can tell, it's working. As far as we've gotten, it's working. Let me say that. Okay. It could be a driver problem, so what I'm going to do is go to Control Panel and go to my system settings. System. Where is system? Device Manager. Well, it's got that. Sound Blaster, that's right. What was the last thing it installed? I don't remember. The stereo, I don't know what that all is. I don't see anything problematic in here that I can tell. What was the last thing it installed though? Was it the read port? I don't remember. I really don't remember. Pentium Pro processor to PCI bridge. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, if that was a problem, I don't think we'd be working right now. If that was a problem, maybe I don't know. Uh, it there you just gotta kind of hit or miss, I guess. So I mean, it says we got network. So let's see if the network works. Command. If you wanna video display. Sure. Well, actually, let's do, just in case it can't resolve DNS, we're gonna do IP. Nope. Well, that's different than saying, do we see the network card? Fatal error, cannot read IP configuration. So we don't have, what does it mean by network? There we go again. This is okay, so we got all this stuff. That's there. Obtain IP address automatically. This should be working. This is working because this won't be working if that wasn't working. Work group. I mean, all intents and purposes, it should be working, right? An Explorer might not work. I might have to go around. Well, we already tried the command ms DOS prompt. That's just gonna take me to the MSN thing. What did it say? It was not available to restore this hardware, restart Windows, and then run this result again. See, that doesn't make sense because we're on. Let's do shutdown. Let's do a restart. Of course, that doesn't work. Oh, crashed again. Perfect. Gotta switch this again. See, I'm trying to get something working. Is it working? What is this device? Oh. Has it fixed itself? Because this wasn't working before. So I did all that work for nothing. Where's the... Hang on. What is it trying to install? PCI communication device. It might not even matter. Here we go again. I do find that sound very nostalgic. So it's working now. why did this change? I mean, it wasn't like this before, and I didn't resize this, so it just did this automatically. It might be, I don't know, it's probably a display thing. Let's see. We just installed that. Cirrus Logic, that's their graphics. Everything, we got the Ethernet. That seems to be working. Quest timed out. So what does that tell us? It tells us not much. Oh, there we go. We can do this now. Okay. We got that working. Okay. Now let's see if it works. Nope. Where it found it, how do we make it default? How do we make it work? Okay, that's correct. How do we use it now? I will say that on actual hardware, it's much easier because I once had a Dell Windows 98 computer. It came with the Gateway computer. They were given to me for free, and I had the Dell, and I bought a Realtek, and I just put it in, and it just worked. So it was all automatic, and I used that to access the Minecraft server remotely. Also had other things doing like Cygwin. I learned about Cygwin, which allows you to use Linux commands inside of a DOS prompt. Super helpful. I think it even works on modern Windows. I use it on XP. It really, it was Windows XP, and I think I also used on Windows 7. So yeah. So look into Cygwin. Cygwin. If you're interested. Okay, so it sees all of that. How do we get to the internet? Internet Explorer, is it just going to send us to the MSN modem thing? Okay, so you won't be stubborn. I can be stubborn. I can be stubborn. Okay, you won't be stubborn back. You really needed that for Internet Explorer? I don't remember that being a thing. Let's see. I don't even have a modem. This doesn't make any sense. Okay, guys, hang on. I gotta be missing something. I think I got it working. We got the pinging to my router. Seems right. At least I think that's my router, or that could be my Mac. I'll have to look into it. I didn't look into it. I just did this. I had to bridge the adapter to first Ethernet adapter. And I did it manually. So let's see if I can do... Yep, that's working. Oops. Let's see if we can ping a domain. It's pinging Google, guys. Progress. I was able to get around that other problem we were having with connect to the internet. As you can see, it's not right here anymore. I forget what I clicked on. Maybe it was that. Or something in... No, wait. It was somewhere in here. I'm sure it's gone now. But there was... Yeah, it was this. I clicked on this, which would be on the front page. So when you do this, you go through here and you say you want to set up your internet connection manually. I don't know why it doesn't just do this by itself. It says I connect to area LAN, set all that up, automatic, press no, then go to next, and then it's gonna somehow reconfigure Internet Explorer to use your Ethernet and not your... Oh, it's working, guys. It has accessed a Microsoft site, but it says access denied. So it's working. We have figured it out. Well, I have figured it out. Update your browser. Your browser is supported. Learn more. It's pretty fast. It's pretty fast. Scrolling isn't bad either. What I wanted to do was I wanted to run through here and do this. Well, I gotta figure out how this command works. Be right back, guys. I found a workaround. It's... Let me open this first. So, what I did was, I realized that Windows 98 has a very deep reliance with ISOs and such. So I just completely stopped trying to do FTP servers and all that. And I just put on an ISO. And Tahoe, macOS Tahoe, can create ISO files. So I just took a folder, converted it to ISO, and this is what we got. This is what I've been working up towards. So, this is what is known as a CSV, or a comma separated values file. So I haven't opened this yet. I haven't even opened it on my main computer, my Mac, but it was just created by some software I've been working on for Operation Flywheel. So let's see how this looks. It could be huge. I don't know what the format looks like. I don't know anything. I have seen the output after I run it, but I haven't seen the actual file yet. So we're going to open this and see how it looks in Excel. Excel should be able to read it. But I don't know what the formatting is going to look like, or if it's going to be completed. But there's a lot of information. I'm not going to go through it. We're just going to look at it. So let's see. We got our Clippy. So this is some software I've been working on. And it's just calculating flywheel and running a script. So this tells us month 1. Then it tells us what to do in month 2. It's not fully featured yet, but it's something I'm working on. So month 4, month 5, and it can simulate months in advance. So this goes up to 6 months. You can have it simulate as much as you want based on current income and such. So it says in debt remaining in month 6 will be $1,699. So it's simulating all my expenses and all my um, the rent, um, the minimums, and all that stuff. It's simulating all of that for up to 6 months. So you're really playing chess with finance with this. So I got my Stash Invest. It's not something I use now, but they take $12 off out of my checking account. So this month I got 48.61 in my bank. There's 3 different programs. There's an observer, then there's the optimizer, and then there's the executor, which calculates all of this, which is more in depth than the optimizer does. I don't know if I'll show those programs on here. Maybe I will when I get it all figured out. So it tells you how much money to put towards things. I don't know what that checking applied means right here. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means it's subtracted. Hardly means subtracted. Tells me how much money I'm going to have left in the bank and everything. So it's been, I've had ChatGPT help me with this, and it's been very reluctant about pulling $400 out automatically when it needs to. I'm still working on that. I'm just going through here and seeing. Oh, I think, did it add it? Let's see. What does month 3 say? Month. Oh, I think it did. Let me see. Um. No. It's not. Unless Capital One was paid off before. So it's paying a minimum. Right there. Hasn't paid it off now. It's paying minimums now. And then, yeah, it's not doing it. Yeah, that's the only thing I gotta add to this. I'm trying to. Well, hang on. What does month 5 say? Okay, it says pay Capital One Saver right here. I see that. P capital 1. So it's going down. But it said pay off earlier. So is it? Yeah. So yeah, it's a work in progress. But it's something I'm doing. So they're doing actions. So this is all simulating behind the scenes of the executor. So it won't tell you this, but if it can detect that it can do it more efficiently than you can and it beats you and it checks your bank accounts and all that, then it's going. I want it to have it where it can automatically pay for your bills and things after 3 months with permission, of course. So yeah, I could see that working. Just got to keep working on it. Um, there is one thing I did want to show you guys before I end it. Um, for in this video. So there's a website that you can use. It's called FrogFind. Frogfind.com is for vintage computers. So it's searching for vintage computers, and it was made by a guy, as you said, built by Action Retro on YouTube. He's a YouTuber, and that's how I heard about this. So how I think this is working is if you type something like, let's say, FileZilla. So it looks to me how this is working is there's a server on the other side that gets website, parses the information, and makes it readable for older browsers to be able to access. So it's like maybe doing a curl, and then it's sending the address, pulls out all that, the website text and stuff. It gets rid of all the JPEGs, images, and all that, and it focuses on the text. So, for example, if we go here, I don't think it's going to work, but you see article is missing, content type, and content length header. So it has to get the article, and I think it's parsing it. I think that's how this works. If you go to other websites, some of these do work. If I go to, let's see what Wikipedia does. Okay, so this one works. So yeah, it's getting HTML. But I think this website is, I don't know, I haven't seen it on a real computer, on a modern browser. So I don't know how this looks. But yeah, you see how it's just pulling up text? I think that's how this is working. Why build such a thing? I haven't read this. So it runs on DuckDuckGo. Okay, so how does FrogFind work? The search functionality of FrogFind is basically a custom wrapper for DuckDuckGo search, converting the results to extremely basic HTML that all browsers can read. When clicking through the pages from search results, those pages are processed through a PHP port of Mozilla's readability, which is what powers Firefox Reader mode. I then further strip down the results to be as basic HTML as possible. Yeah, just process through text. It removes images and things like that. Yeah, just exactly what I said. Now, there's a way you could do that without Mozilla's readability. You could, there is a way you could do it. You could do like what I used to do something similar. it was turning every website into a PDF file. Of course, that would be using images, and then you'd have something to read the images. It's kind of like a similar concept, but you're parsing all the text. That would be also what I think links would do. LYNX. It pulls out just HTML out of for a command line. Any text-based web browser. Yeah, text-based web browser, that would be like links, what I said earlier, for a command line. So yeah, that's frog find. I don't know where this goes. Yeah, I can't go to YouTube because you can't parse that information. You could try, well, actually you can't because it's going to go to HTTPS. And I already tried it on here, as you can see. Yeah, could not parse text. Because, yeah. But that would be a YouTube thing. There is some text, as you can see. This is text right here that it's pulling out. But of course on the actual website, well, you got a little bit right there. Just a little bit. YouTube. Anyways, I just wanted to show that off. And, yeah. Why don't we do something fun and entertaining? But let's not go into entertainment. Let's go into system tools and let's go to ScanDisk. So you know how much we love ScanDisk. Let's just, well, you should really be using CheckDisk. ScanDisk is one thing, but you could use CheckDisk. Could we just run that through here, or do we have to actually have the terminal? Oh, no, it goes in the... CheckDisk has not checked this drive for errors. You must use ScanDisk to detect and fix errors on this drive. Instead of using CheckDisk, try using ScanDisk. ScanDisk can reliably detect and fix a much wider range of disk problems. Well, if that's the case, then why is it even installed on Windows 98? I have no idea. This is taking a lot longer than it usually takes. I guess the other one uses standard and this uses through. But yeah, Windows 98. It's growing on me. When you use Windows 98, it grows on you. Once you get everything set up, it's not bad. I could live with it. To an extent. So let's cancel that. Didn't mean to click on that. else was there? Let's see what functionality we get when we don't do anything. Should still have access to Internet Explorer. Yeah, that works. ipconfig. I forgot about that. Another thing I didn't like about Windows 98 is you can't go back up. Like, you can't go up. Like, you can't even scroll on here. Maybe you can. Oh. Didn't mean to do that. So you get like a fall version of MS-DOS. Kind of strange. I also want to talk a little bit about what's going on in this admin thing. And I asked ChatGPT about this and it doesn't believe me. But if you actually go here and you put, okay, it says the Windows password you typed is incorrect. Which means that the admin password is blank. It's somewhere in the system. Now, two things could be happening there. Either, no, it couldn't, because if we do, what is it? I remember last time we did this thing kept not working. So let's see. Okay, see, now that's being weird. Because that also has to be a blank password. But how do you put in a blank password? See, I think this is a legitimate problem with Windows. I don't think it was intended to do that. I think that is legitimately a problem with how Windows is designed. About the admin thing, I think what's going on here is that somewhere deep in the kernel, there's a place for networking for admin, and it has a blank password. And I think whenever you create a new account, let's say like hello, you do that and it sets Windows password. What I think it's doing is it's doing a check that if admin password is blank, then it checks if this password is blank. It's not blank, so it's non-blank password. So when it's non-blank, it's going to trigger, if it's non-blank based on the blank password of the admin account, it's going to trigger this. We have to put a new password and confirm new password. It'll work. I think that's how they had to do it. So you couldn't just have no password. It had to be tied to an actual account that already existed deep in the kernel. So it's not going to be in a password file. So I think that's the way they did that. So if it's non-blank, so if it is a blank password, you could just log in. When admin doesn't have an account, there it goes, it crashed. Kind of. So, that would be Explorer, I believe, would be what is closing. Oh, no, really. Wait, no, I didn't. Okay, the program is not responding. Yeah, that was the problem that Explorer crashed. In task. Okay, I guess. Does it require you to for ScanDisk after he did that? Nope. Didn't ask for ScanDisk. And that was not our background. So I think it just got confused. Yeah, this thing is janky. This login thing, it's janky. I mean, why doesn't it just say login despite like login anyways or something like that? Why even have this X right here? There's so many different paths they could have done to do this. But admin password thing is now there is a possibility where let's try this. So I didn't put a password over there. So it's acting as if I did have a password. See, this is so janky. This is so let's say welcome. Okay, and we're gonna say okay. Crashed again. Yeah, but if I do it this way, it's just gonna send us back to ScanDisk. Skip it. Type a username and password to log into Windows. Now it's giving us this kind of login screen. We haven't seen this login screen before. Yeah, this is janky. It acts the same, except it doesn't say the same thing it used to. So what does it say now? Does it say that password is optional? Okay, then why doesn't it say that up there? I'm just trying to figure out how deep this goes. Now, it could go into themes and all that, but just seems like it could be a big mistake. Oh, that was the problem. 1DLL. Isn't that like the main thing, though? OSA. I don't know what OSA is. Yeah, I think we just broke it. This is weird. This is so weird. Active desktop recovery. Oh, now we have that. Now what is it doing? That wasn't there before. Yeah, this is what teachers would have on their screens most of the time when they had that activated. Okay, we were able to get out of that loop. I like how it automatically capitalizes that. I don't know why I'm so hung up on this. It's just a really bad... Oh, now it says it. Tip, if you don't want to enter a password, you won't get this prompt. We get it. Startup. Type a name to enter a password if you want to. It didn't say that like last 2 times or whatever it was. So, let's do... I guess. That's the active desktop. Um, how do you even use this? I don't know. I have no idea. It was just kind of always there. Folder options, I guess. Mm. Yeah, I guess that's the end of this video. Mm, not really much more to say except all that other stuff I said before. I mean, it works. Oh, I did have one thing I had on one of my computers. Since they already had modems, what I did was I installed Net Zero, and so I had Net Zero. You can actually get Net Zero for free. It gave you like 10 hours a month, something like that. I think it was 10 hours for something. You still can get it to this day. So yeah, but when I first got it, I didn't have a landline. But when I moved, I was able to access dial-up internet because we didn't have internet at the house, at that house. Um, but I used dial-up, and man, it was slow. You could not run YouTube on it, but you could access some sites. Emails would take so long to load, but I mean, it would be so slow. You would think that refreshing the page would just make it go faster. Just like how it used to be in Windows 98 days. Like Windows 1998, you thought that refreshing the page would have the website move faster because you didn't want to wait. It was just a psychological thing, I guess. But yeah, that's how it was back then. And yeah, I mean, sometimes that was fast, sometimes it was slow. It was, but yeah, on those computers, they were definitely, well, on that computer, it was definitely slower than what I grew up with. Unless they had, no, I know they had, I had a friend. I was on their computer and they had dial up because you could actually hear I remember the phone ringing. So they didn't have broadband, but it was faster than what I had on Net Zero. And I had the AOL toolbar as well. And that worked. I don't think they have that anymore, the AOL toolbar. But this was about 2014. This was 2014. And yeah. And I just used it because we couldn't afford DSL. We couldn't afford cable. And we were about to leave the house. We were about to move. So yeah, that's all what I had at the time was dial up. What does calculator look like? Is there solitaire in this? I've been wondering if there's solitaire. I don't see any games. Mm, no solitaire. It has to be on here. It's been on every. Not even reversing from Windows 3.1. Have paint. Do we not have solitaire? Do we really not have solitaire? Nope. I mean, I could see how people get into this back in the day. I don't know if we could run. I may have to go to the Windows file. I'm just kind of Windows folder, I mean. Well, folders are technically files, depending on what operating system you're using. Program files. Let's look in here. Plus. We got plus. Themes. Nothing's even in there. Don't you just love when you install Windows and there's a folder there, but it's completely empty? Like, why? Why even do that? Again, why? Unless it's in all files. Oh, that's why. So what was in the other folder? Now, I have encountered times when that happened. Yeah, it's empty. Accessories. Yeah, there was no. This is it. There's nothing else. DX Diag. I remember DX Diag. Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, pretty fun. Yeah, there's a lot we could talk about. I think I've talked about pretty much everything. Yeah, I do not see solitaire anywhere on here. And we don't have a search function. I mean, they got this find, but really it's... Oh man, that's archaic. I prefer Windows XP's over this one. Maybe 2000 was XP's. What I mean was 2000s like this. So I don't even know how to spell solitaire. Look and see. No items to view. I have no idea. I don't think. Yeah, this looks not even games. No wonder this was so boring. But yeah, guys, I'll end it here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Of course, when I do this, I ain't gonna shut down. Oh, for once it actually worked. Anyways, guys, I'll see you guys in. Oh, no, never mind, it crashed. Of course. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.